Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. All right, guys. Many of you guys have been asking me for a Thomas rotation video. I'm going to give you guys that video right now. Before I do that, though, I know many of you other ones have been asking me for a artifact build rotation, tier list for brand new artifacts and the updates they've done. Listen, they blindsided us with this. This is going to take a little bit longer than you guys want. I will give you a tier list for sure for characters. I'll give you a weapon tier list, but I don't know if I can guarantee you guys another tier list for artifacts quite yet, because I'd be doing you a disservice and giving you some information that I'm not totally ready to share. And I think we have to kind of expect a little bit of time so I can do a little bit of testing and see exactly who belongs with what now and who has the best results with what new artifacts, because it's pretty wild. Now, just many of you also have been asking, hey Payne, how are they going to handle power of destruction? Well, you guys can see here, they've reduced all the 3 power destructions to 1 time only, so you guys will now be able to do it just once and complete it. So I'm on my free-to-play account. Let's talk a little bit about Thomas. I have him at A4 on my free-to-play. I'm hopefully going to get him to A5 very soon. I got his weapon to A7 because, you know what, the generosity of this devs go too damn far, and I can't lie, I'm super excited about it. So let's talk about his skills. We'll talk about his best cores. We'll talk about his best armor sets, etc. Okay, so first off, skills. How does he function? So basic attack, full light damage, scales off defense. You want defense as your main stat, you want crit damage as your second stat, and crit rate as your third stat. Fourth stat is going to be damage increase. Okay, those are the four main stats you want to focus on. Okay, so core attack, super important. Super important, because core attack is going to happen very often. He functions very similarly to Gun He in his rotation. I'll show you guys that very shortly. But he does insane amounts of damage with his core attack. I think Gun He might be the only one that's close. Yeah, I mean, well, not close, but I mean, they do very similar core attack percentages. And he has an opportunity to get himself a shield at 2% of his defense. So defense, again, plays a major role because shields play a major role. All right, so 2 skills here, they're both extremely important. Okay, which one do you want to focus on first? It really doesn't matter. You guys can see at 7 and 7, they pretty much are exactly the same MP consumption, same cooldown. They both activate the core. Great either way. All right, so focus on that one. Next, his QTE as well too is not bad. It gives steel armor to the entire team. Steel armor essentially provides a shield, which increases your critical hit rate and critical hit damage, exactly like Alicia's does. So amazing support. You definitely want to get that up, but let that happen naturally through getting your dupes. Don't have to really focus on that. QTE, you can see here, does a knockdown, and then lastly, his ultimate is extremely powerful. He becomes Steel Tyrant, gives him 100. You get 100% activation rate. You get Steel Tyrant effect, and then you can do Black Hole, which does 4,680% of user defense. It uses up all the consumption, does light damage, does knockdown, and for every 1,000 shield effect applied to the user, the damage of Black Hole increases by 2% to a total maximum of 20%. When the user uses Black Hole Crash, it expends all of their shield effect. Keep that in mind. So if you're losing a lot of health, you may not want to do that and just keep the shield on. But nonetheless, this does absolutely crazy damage. And then when you use the skill, it removes the overwhelming power effect. You guys can see here, Steel Tyrant, the damage of Absolute Demolition and Colossal Crush increases by 100% when the user uses Absolute Demolition or Colossal Crush. These 2 skills right there. Sorry, where was I? It changes the Ruler's Judgment to Black Hole Crush. They gain a shield. Effective to 10% for 10 seconds, and changes Ruler Judgment to Black Hole Crush. And then that's this skill here, of course, becomes this skill, and the user damage taken decreased by 20%. So he takes less damage, increases his defense by 20%, and then you also gain a shield while that happens for 25 seconds. So extremely powerful unit. Definitely top tier, guys. There's no question. Thomas is the best unit in the game, by far, and I'm going to explain to you guys why afterwards as well. Okay, so let's talk about the actual skills passives themselves. So whenever the user uses any of these 4 skills, 1, 2, 3, 4, volley crush is this one right here, the QTE, right? All right, you will gain, it activates overwhelming power. The user's power gauge will not be charged, and there will be no cooldown. Instead, Ruler's Judgment becomes available when overwhelming power has stacked 5 times. In the team mode, and this is what makes him, by the way, the best GB and POD player, or even Battlefield of Chaos, is because in team fights, which requires all of your teammates in one screen, so the raid mode that you guys see, the user gains 24% damage increase. Yeah, just for having a team on there. For not being a selfish prick, okay? So overwhelming power. The user's defense increases by 10%. The user's shield acquisition chance increases by 2%. Duration stacks up to 5 times, and it is a 25-second cooldown. Again, to get overwhelming power, you must use one of these skills, which will give him that, okay? Once you have the 5 stacks, Ruler's Judgment takes into effect. So A1, when the user gains a shield, it activates overwhelming power immediately. Rather than having to do the 5 stacks, it'll do it immediately. So super, super important, A1. A2, increases shield acquisition by 8%. When a shield effect is active, it increases the user's critical hit rate and critical hit damage by 10%, the same as his QT or his support skills. The tier 3, the overgrowth effect is applied when a shield is active in the last, it's a 0.5 second cooldown. If the last hit of Colossal Crush lands when Steel Tyrant is active, so again, Steel Tyrant is the skill here when he becomes a Steel Tyrant, right? When he becomes his transformation. Right here, the user's shield shatters into sharp fragments, dealing light damage, area of effect dealing equal to 200% of Thomas Andre's defense, and then you'll get more damage based on the shield. And then lastly, increases defense by 16% is where I'm at. But the last one, while the Steel Tyrant effect is active, it increases the damage of Black Hole Crash by 125%, which is insane amount of increase for this skill. So what do I have currently going? So if you've watched any of my testing videos, Obsidian is by far the best accessories for him. Use it. It's the best one. That or Executioner or Berserker, depending on circumstance, but Obsidian is the best. When it comes down to armor, it was either between Warmonger or Cursed. Warmonger for me is better right now because it's the better set. If you ask me which one's better, try both. Okay, I don't have a good. My only other good set for defense is on Charlotte. I plan to keep it on her, but Thomas here definitely is going to get Warmonger, and it works really well for him. It's worked out well for me, so I decided to keep it on, and that's what I'm running. In terms of stats, here's my stats. You guys can see I'm over crit right there. I have a ton of crit. I have 182% crit hit damage. I plan to make that go higher. My defense is only 20k, but that's the same as my gun here, and I plan to bring that higher as well. Damage increase, of course, is 17% or more, and then of course I'm going to push this even further whenever I have the opportunity. Now, when it comes down to cores, you definitely want better cores than this. You want additional attack here and crit hit rate or crit hit damage. It's your choice. I suggest crit hit rate or crit hit damage. You want to have obviously the light one. If you can have any of the light ones, the one I would choose is right here. Whenever he does ultimate skill, it increases the critical hit damage of his basic skills by 20%. You also have a chance to get other ones as well. One over here. Well, you don't care about the increased attack, by the way. That one's useless for him. Okay, useless. There is another one though that's pretty good. One sec, let me find it. I think is that the only one? Wait, that might be the only one. Yeah, you know what? Just stick with that one. That one's the best one for him, okay? Second one, if you can get it in light, here you want to actually grant a shield as well. Again, he scales off of shield, so it's fantastic for him. So get that shield one, you can do that, okay? And that's going to work a lot better for him than anybody else. You can do damage decrease, but it's not worth it in my opinion. Just get that extra shield. That just tacks on more shield to his ultimate, making it even stronger when he does his shatter. And then here, you obviously want to go with the one that gives MP recovery, just to make Obsidian work better. You can also do this one here with the power gauge increase, but you honestly, unless you're using Black Hole nonstop, that one's not as good. So I would do the MP recovery one. When it comes down to stats, additional attack, additional defense, not defense percentage. Okay, if you guys can find additional defense, stick with that one. So SJW has that one, but he has it connected to him, so I left it there. And then of course, when it comes down to here, you want to push HP at HP or HP percentage. It's up to you on that one, but I would suggest going HP. And then critical hit damage or critical hit rate. Here you want critical hit rate. Here you want critical hit rate or critical hit damage. Your call. Okay, on those ones. So that's how that works. Now let's talk about his rotation. All right, we're going to talk about his rotation real quick, and we're going to show you guys how he functions. So if I'm going to go into this fight here, I'll just do this one quickly with you guys, and you guys can kind of see how he plays as a character. So let me remove some of these cats out of the way. Put Thomas in. Put him in. Sure, we'll keep him in. We'll put Shaw in here actually. Okay, so shadows. What shadow do you want to use? Big Rock. Amazing. Use Big Rock. Easy. Or Igris if you're lacking the crit. It's your call. Big Rock or Igris. Now, rotation wise, like I said, you can start off with doing skill 1, core damage, skill 2. Now watch. When he does a skill, you see his core attack instantly pops up. Core attack. Skill 2. Okay? Core attack. Ultimate. Just jump right into the ultimate. Okay, this is the rotation, guys. Now his buffs are back, or his attacks are back. Core attack, skill, core attack. Second skill, core attack. Continue doing that as much as you can. Build that shield up as hard as you can. And then you want to jump in and do your Black Hole ultimate. Okay, let's do it again. I'm just going to keep doing this one with you so you guys can see. He is an absolute monster. And I mean, when I say the word monster, he legitimately works under that that pretense that he is a monster. He really is. Now, a lot of people were expecting this from him, and I'm glad they delivered. Many people were also being like, oh, power creep is happening. Well, what did you guys expect? He's a national level hunter, and that's what we want from our national level hunter. So let's do this again. Okay. You guys can see here, again, starting in, first skill, core attack. You guys see he has an accurate look. His shield keeps building, right? Whenever he does these skills, he lost his shield right there, though. There it is again. It's back. So you want to build that as much as you can. If you have, depending on where you are in his advancements, you're going to get a shield faster, you're going to hit harder, and you're going to have Steel Tyrant activate much quicker. So once you have your ultimate up, cast it. Don't even waste time. Just cast it, okay? And if you cast it, you're going to have the opportunity to be in that Steel Tyrant state for quite some time and do way more damage. Way more damage. Don't use Black Hole until you've done the full rotation again, and then you could decide whether you need to use it or not, okay? So I'm going to show you guys here again Here, let's just go into Steel Tyrant for a second. I'm not going to hit the boss, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and activate it. Okay, here, we're going to activate. Before you activate it here, you want to do the core attack one more time. But you guys can see he's up and running. So here's the first skill. Right? Now, you don't want to activate Black Hole right now. You want to finish this full rotation like I just did. There's the other attack. All right, now we're going to go ahead and activate this. And you're going to see the amount of damage that comes through. He's unreal. Look at his shield on the bottom. Half of his health is almost a shield. This is why Guardian will work really well as well. Guardian is a little bit inferior to Warmonger and Curse, but Guardian does work really well in a team setting. So if you want to use Guardian and Obsidian, you absolutely can. You can go back and check the data with Guardian. It was very close. It will give you a bigger shield, which means you'll do more damage during the Steel Tyrant stage, but it's a little bit inferior in damage. Maybe in a team setting, though, it'll do more because he absorbs all the shield from everybody and does more damage, but that's completely your call. All right, guys, so there you go. I will make a tier list video and more about Thomas when it's time, but he is... If you're skipping on Thomas, I'm telling you right now, you are missing out. And why am I saying that? Why am I saying that people are skipping out on Thomas? Because some people are actually skipping out on Thomas. Now, I will talk about the new update and what they've done with gear and why they've done it. I know a lot of people were questioning why they did it. It's simple, and I'll talk about it. But I will say this: it's to compete with Beast or Expert Set for other classes. All right, guys. This is Payne. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.